In '88, you had talked about possibly becoming one of the Four Horsemen, going to WCW. Had you been contacted by Jim Ross?
Yes.
What was this original plan?
They contacted me out of the blue. Jim Ross called me at my house, and Jim Crockett was still involved with him, you know. I was off for a few weeks, so I booked a flight into Dallas, where WCW was headquartered then. Not just Atlanta, but Dallas, because Jimmy Crockett was involved in it. And Dusty was over there, and so I flew in there. Jim Ross was there. And they told me their plans, and they offered me a nice contract, and it was going to be, they wanted to turn Barry Windham babyface. I think they already had a Four Horsemen, but they were going to turn Barry babyface, and I was going to take his spot as one of the Four Horsemen. I went back to New York, and I was still working for New York. I gave my notice or anything. I just wanted to talk to these guys face to face. Didn't have to, but I wanted to. The new Dream Team was out. I wasn't very happy with Dino. Dino's a good guy and everything, but it just didn't click, the new Dream Team. It was in Madison Square Garden. They told us to put the Killer Bees over. And they had, I guess they were a top tag team at the time. But I didn't like the idea that we were going to put the Killer Bees over in the Madison Square Garden. I wasn't thinking of the future ahead. They had some big plans because Dino was owned part of Montreal, and it was all a political thing. But they didn't fill me in about it. So I went out there and I said, I'll do the job. So I went to put the figure 4, and they did some kind of double thing that rolled me up. So next morning, I got on the airplane instead of going to the next town. I got on the airplane and flew home. That's it. I was quitting. But I had this conversation with Dallas and everything. I had that in the back of my mind, Four Horsemen and all that stuff. So I'm on this empty-ass airplane. There's nobody on the airplane. But way up in front, now I'm in the back, but way up in front, there's Hulk Hogan. And so right away I'm hiding. And there's nobody on this plane, so it's kind of hard to hide. But he's up in first class. I'm way back there, and I don't want him to see me. But he did see me. My wife picked me up at the airport. I went home. As soon as I got home, the phone started ringing. And it was Vince. I didn't take the first couple of calls, and then finally I took the call from Vince. Now this really changed my whole career from this point on with this conversation I had with Vince. And it was 4 or 5 hours long. And he was telling me I was like a pawn in a chess game, and they were using me and all. Yeah, they were using me, but I was still untouched. I was still over up in New York, and they hadn't beaten me too much any place. And to slide right in with the Four Horsemen. So Vince had already heard, even after I skipped town, at least I did the job, but I got on the airplane. He had already heard, there's telephone, telegraph, and telewrestler. So he had already heard that I flew to Dallas and talked to these guys. So he basically talked me into coming back after a 5-hour conversation. And I said, well, break up the Dream Team and let me wrestle Brutus. So he did all that. But I wish I would have went to the horse. I wish I would have done that. That would have been good. Good for me, good for the company, and Vince still would have brought me back. So, he threatened me like, you'll never come back. They always bring you back, I let him, because I liked Vince so much, and I still like him, I let him talk me out of it.
But you think if you had gone there, that may have revitalized you in a different way?
Because of the Four Horsemen was over. You got Flair as your partner, and you got Tully Blanchard, and I think
Arn Anderson.
Arn Anderson. So, and they're turning Barry babyface. Would have been perfect. So Greg Valentine's in there. Yeah, that's all true, and Jim Ross had set it up, and I was good to go. So I think because I really loved the WWF and I didn't want to leave, so I went back there.
In this conversation that you had in Dallas, I know it's a long time ago now, but did they say, hey, you're going to come in with the Four Horsemen and we've got these immediate plans? Or was this just kind of vague?
No. I remember J.J. Dillon was there too. He knew about the Four Horsemen. Everybody knew and that was actually, I guess, J.J. was part of the booking committee and Jim Crockett was. So it was a foregone conclusion that they were going to turn Barry babyface, and I was going to be right in that slot, and that would have been a big money spot for me and a big spot for my career. Would have been great. And WCW was still, Monday Nitros and everything. It would have been great.